Yeah. Now, we completed up to like DDL and DML and DRL. Like delete also we completed up to this one we completed, and we'll see like the remaining two things, and we'll go with like other concept also. Okay. Yeah. Now, the subcategories we have the five like DDL, DML, DRL, DCL, TCL. Okay, in the DDL we have a create, a rename, drop, and truncate, and like alter we have. Okay, now the create is what it is used to create the database and the table. Okay, now rename in the sense like we can rename the database name and we can rename the table name. Okay, alter in the sense within the alter we have the four types. Like we can by using this alter command we can manipulate the table columns. Okay, not table definitions also we can say that like alter add, alter rename, alter drop, alter uh, modify. Okay, we have these things. The drop. Okay, now we can drop entire table. Okay, the truncate. Okay, till now we didn't discuss the truncate. Okay, now we have some differences between truncate and delete and drop. We'll discuss it. Okay, in the DML, the DML is like the data manipulation language. Here we have we can insert the data, we can update the data, we can delete the data. Okay, now DRL in the sense like it's a select. Now we can select single element, we can select multiple elements, and we can print like all the entire the table data also. Okay, now what is the difference between uh, truncate, drop, and delete? Okay, this is the main point. Okay, now if you observe like truncate and a drop in the DDL commands, okay, the both are the DDL commands. Now here all DDL, not only drop and truncate, like create, rename, alter, drop, and truncate are auto committed. Okay, auto committed. Now the DML operations are not auto committed. Okay, not auto committed. Okay, the meaning in the sense like auto committed in the sense basically the commit in the sense like the data going to be saving permanently. Okay, auto committed in the sense like whenever you are using like this query, okay, automatically the data is going to be saving permanently. Whatever operation you are doing, this operation is doing like permanently. Okay, not auto committed in the sense like temporary. Okay, now here if you observe the truncate in the sense, okay, the truncate in the sense data deleted permanently. Okay, not structured. Okay, now the drop. Okay, data as well as table structure is dropped. Okay, dropped from database. Okay, now delete. Now we can delete a single record. Okay, single record or multiple records. Okay, multiple records temporarily. Okay, the temporary. Okay, now that is the difference between truncate and drop delete. For suppose now whatever the data we deleted, we can retrieve back. But if I deleted the data by using truncate and drop, simply we cannot retrieve it. Okay. Now if you want to see the difference simply, now I'm going to insert some data. Before going to that, I can use. Now whenever you open like every time that MySQL workbench, the thing is what first we need to use our database. If you're not using this database, simply you cannot work, you cannot perform any operation. Okay, but suppose here I'm going to like selecting this record, I'm going to insert it here. We cannot perform any operation. Okay, the thing is what we are not selected any database. Okay, that's why even if I close it right now, if you open again, now again we need to use our database. Okay, that's the most important point. Now you can execute this one. Now it's okay. Now see the database selected. Now you can perform like select start from student. If I execute, now we have this much data we have. Okay. Now I'm going to insert some more data. Like I can apply some the TCL operations, like sorry, not TCL, TCL operations, like commit and rollback. Okay, by using these two, now we can retrieve back the data. Okay. Okay, commit in the sense like the data is going to be saving permanently. The rollback in the sense the data going to be retrieved back. Now, but suppose simply here, I'm going to save in like a so committed 0. So I think like use. Now here I can change the two values. Now 100, like 80, 18, 101, Suresh, 13, and okay. Okay. Now here I want to use commit. Okay. Now by default, like MySQL is going to be committed. Okay, that's why simply I'm going to make it as false. Set auto commit to 0. Like after that, I want to insert the data. Okay, I want to commit. Okay, by using this commit command, the data going to be saving. Okay, now saving permanently. Uh, like Rahul, can you hear me? Karthik. Hello.
Yes, Baba.
అది మహేష్ లాబీలో ఉన్నట్టు ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి.
Indra.
రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏం రాలేదా?
Accept చేసినాం బావా.
ఒక్క నిమిషం. ఓకే. యా.
Yeah, join it.
Yeah. Now, till now we completed like this one, like DDL, DML, DRL. Okay, now we're going to discussing like commit and the rollback. Okay, the commit and rollback in the sense that by using commit command, we can save the data permanently. The rollback in the sense like we can retrieve back the data. Okay, now by using, for suppose delete in the sense like the data is not deleting permanently. Okay, but if it is possible truncate, it's deleted permanently. Okay, we want to see the difference between like a delete and truncate. Now we can use these two commands. Okay, that's why that's a purpose. I create like set auto commit to 0. Okay, now because of it's not auto committed, now I can insert some data. Now I make it as commit. Okay, now I'm going to execute like these three commands. Now set auto commit to 0. Okay, now Yeah, it's executed. I'm going to insert some data. Okay, executed, and I'm going to use that comment. Okay, if I want to see the data, now select star from like students. Okay, if I execute, refresh it. Oh yeah. Oh, is it students? Okay, student, right? Okay. Now we can see the data like this. Now, if you observe, we have 100 and Suresh we have. But suppose if I deleted Kirti, okay, now I'm going to deleting Kirti. Now delete, okay, delete from student where st name or st id is equal to 100. Okay, st id is equal to 100. Now I'm deleting the data. Okay, again, if you see the data, now do we have any Kirti right now? Okay, we don't have any Kirti. I deleted. Okay, now, but suppose I want to retrieve back. Now roll back. Okay, if I use this command roll back, now again I roll back and again roll back success. If I select that data and again, see we can see the Kirti. Okay, now by using commit and rollback, we can retrieve the data by using delete command. Okay, even if you deleted the temporary, like one copy of a table is created separately. Now, even though you deleted, the data is not going to be deleted permanently. Okay, now that thing is going. But in the case of if I use the truncate, okay, now truncate table name. Okay, if I use this command, the data is not only the single data. Okay, we cannot delete single data also. Okay, we cannot only delete Soma and we cannot delete like only Suresh. Okay, it's not possible. Okay, the truncate command is used to delete entire data, entire records. It will delete it. Okay, now not only temporarily, it's a permanently deleted. Okay, now here I am going to truncate the command I'm using. Okay, that truncate is applied. I can select the data. Okay, now we don't have any data. I'm using rollback command. See here, we cannot get any data. See here, even though if I roll back, if I select the data, see here, nothing is there. Okay, the data is permanently deleted. Okay, now delete in the sense like that we can delete the data and we can retrieve back by using commit and rollback commands. But drop and truncate, it's not possible to retrieve the data. Okay, now why? It's a uh, permanent data is going to be deleted by using truncate and drop. Okay, drop and truncate difference is what? Drop is deleted data plus table. Truncate is deleted only the data. Okay, now drop is deleted data plus table structure. Now, but truncate is deleted only data. Okay, only data, not table structures here. Okay, if I use truncate command, we have table structures here. The table structure is there, but we don't have any data. But if I use drop command, now drop table name. Okay, now if I refresh it, now if I select the students here, we don't have anything. See here, we are getting a table. The student does not exist. We don't have any data. Okay, now like this, the commit and the rollback commands are going to use. Okay, now anyway, like I'm going to insert like one more time the data. Oh, sorry, like we don't have any table, right? Now that create a student entry address, we can insert the data. Okay, now if I select start from the student, now we can see the data. Okay, now we'll go with the grant and revoke. Okay, now what is the purpose of this grant and revoke? Okay, now giving the permission and retrieve back the permissions. For suppose the two people are working like in different companies. Okay, the two people are for suppose one person is working like Capgemini. Okay, one person is like working on like IBM. Okay, the two companies are using like same MySQL only for suppose. Okay, MySQL. the database they are going to use. Okay. Now, like for suppose Rahul and Karthik, like both are friends. Okay. Now, Rahul wants to see like some data about like IBM. Okay. Now, the Rahul is asking like permission. Okay. Give me like your employee data. Okay. Employee table data. Okay. I can see that like how many members are there, like what are the salaries, all there, all these things. Okay. The Rahul is asking the permission to Karthik. Okay. Now, Karthik is granting the permission. Okay. Now he is granting the permission to Rahul up to some time. Okay. Now after completion of some time, whatever the deadline is given by the Karthik. Okay. After that, he is retrieving back the all the permissions. Okay. Now Karthik is granted permission to Rahul sometime visit the employee table, all these things. Okay. Now he can give some limitation also. Okay, what is the limitation? Okay, now you can select the table. Okay, you can read the table. You cannot update the table. Okay, you can insert the table if it is possible. Okay, this type of limitations also given by the Karthik also. Okay, now we'll see that. But right now, if you want to do like grant and revoke, right now we have only one person, that is Satya is there. Okay, now Satya, here we have Satya. Okay, for suppose like we need one more person, right? Okay, one more database we need. Okay, one more like user we need. Okay, now we need to create like first user. Okay, we need to create like first user. Okay, now here only I'm going to create some user. Now if we're going to create a user, now I'm going to create like role first. Now create a role. The role name is like world US. Okay, now I'm going to execute that role US. Now the role is created. Now what type of permissions is giving? Okay, what type of permissions is giving? Okay, now grant. Okay, now select. Okay, select, update, delete, and insert on. Okay, on which type of database, like what where you want to give the permission, like us sept. Okay, it's our database, right? Now on us underscore sept. Now dot star అంటే all the tables. For suppose ఈ యూఎస్ఎఫ్ట్ అనేది database కదా, ఈ database లో మీరు పర్మిషన్ ఓన్లీ స్టూడెంట్ టేబుల్ కి ఇచ్చేస్తే ఓకే. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఓన్లీ ద స్టూడెంట్ టేబుల్, దట్స్ ఓకే. బట్ ఇక్కడ పర్మిషన్ ఏంటంటే ఆల్ ద టేబుల్స్ మీద పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చేసాడు. ఓకే, ఏం చేయమని సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకో, అప్డేట్ చేసుకో, డిలీట్ చేసుకో, ఎంటర్ చేసుకో, ఏదైనా చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, నౌ టూ. ఓకే, నౌ world, the user is what, world underscore us. Okay, now here I'm granting the permission. Okay, now we need to create a user, right? Till now I didn't create any user. Okay, now we need to create a user. Create user. Okay, the username is suppose like Rahul. Okay, now identified by. Okay, I think like spelling is correct. Okay, identified by the password I'm going to sending like Rahul 123. Okay, now default role. Okay, default role is what, world US. Now world underscore the US. Okay, now here I can create that user here. Like option create user is failed, Rahul or that one. Okay, do we have any Rahul already? Okay, I think Rahul DB is there already. You get like now Karthik and Rahul 123 created. Okay, the username is Karthik. and Karthik 123 and default role to US. Oh, still Karthik also exists here. Oh, Karthik also there. Okay, there's no Mahesh. I'm aggregate like Mahesh. No Mahesh. And Mahesh 123 like world use. Okay, now it's created. Okay, now I want to create like a one more local instance. Now here, go to the home page. Now create like separate instance. Okay, the connection name is simply here. I can use world ES. Okay, now username is what? Mahesh. Okay, now the password, you need to test the connection. Now the password is like Mahesh 123. Okay, select OK. Now test the connection. Now click on OK. Now the Mahesh is created. Where is that Mahesh? So not created Mahesh.
అక్కడ ఉంది చూడన్న వరల్డ్ లాస్ట్ దాంది కింద యూజర్ మహేష్ వరల్డ్ లాస్ట్
Yeah. Okay. Now ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఆల్రెడీ పర్మిషన్ వచ్చేసింది. ఓకే మహేష్ పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చేసాను. Now Satya is given permission to like Mahesh. We have the two instances. This is Satya. This is Mahesh. Okay. Now Mahesh is trying to see the all the data. Okay. If you want to see the data, first you need to use the database. Now use us underscore set. Okay. I need to use the database. Now here the database selected. Now you want to see the all the data. Okay, now select star from like a student. Okay, now if you select the data, now you can see all the data here. Mahesh can see the data. ఎందుకు నేను ఆల్రెడీ మహేష్ కి పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చా ఏంటి గ్రాంట్ అంటే సెలెక్ట్ ఇచ్చాను అప్డేట్ ఇచ్చాను డిలీట్ ఇచ్చాను ఇన్సర్ట్ ఇచ్చాను ఓకే ఒక డాటా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను ఓకే నా ఇన్సర్ట్ ఇంటూ table name values. Okay, what type of data we have here? Now 190. Okay, now Sai, and again 67 is a marks, and ML. Okay, now if I selected, now he can insert the sorry, like the table as student does not exist. Spelling mistakes. A student. Okay, see the data is affected. Again, if you want to see the data, okay, now he inserted here, the Sai is inserted, but I didn't give the permission to Mahesh to create some other table. See here, I give the permission only select, update, delete, and insert. But I didn't give any like permission to create other table. But Mahesh is trying to creating the table. Okay, now create a table. Okay, table name is emp. Okay, now eid like int and e name varchar 20. Okay, now it's trying to create a table. Now if I execute simply, now here create a command denied to user Mahesh at that localhost for the table em. Okay, now why in the sense as a Satya I didn't give him permission anything to create a table. I gave the permission only for select, update, delete, and insert. Okay, I given some time, but I want to retrieve the back all the data. Okay, now how I can retrieve it? Simply here grant and revoke. Revoke. Okay, revoke, select, update, delete, insert or us underscore set dot star from oral us. Okay, మళ్ళీ పర్మిషన్ తీసేసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay, now here earlier we have all the data database, all these things we have here. If I retrieve back the data, simply we don't have like the Mahesh doesn't have anything here. September database here. You can execute this one. Okay, it's perfectly executed. Now if I refresh it, see, there is no database right now. Simply cannot use it here. Even if I'm trying to use that September, simply here, access denied from the user Mahesh. Okay, to database us underscore sept. It's denied. Okay, now like this, we can give the permission and we can retrieve back that. Okay, same way. Okay, we can create like different user like this. Okay, the different user having like the same password and sorry, username and password. If you enter the password, simply you can access the data based on that whatever they are giving the permissions. Okay, like this, the TRL commands, so TCL commands will work. Okay. Okay. Now, if you observe, like I can select the data first, like select star from student. Okay, we have this much data. Okay, for suppose simply here, observe carefully. Okay, now again I can select start from the student. Now, observe carefully here. For suppose I'm going to take like one record Rahul. So 123 Rahul 78 Hyderabad. Okay. Here also we have right 123 Rahul 78 Hyderabad. Okay. Now I want to change the Rahul address where we have this record, not this one. అంటే ఈ స్టార్టింగ్ అంటే ఫస్ట్ రికార్డ్ కాదు, ఈ లాస్ట్ రికార్డ్ లో ఉన్న రాహుల్ హైదరాబాద్ యొక్క వాల్యూనే చేంజ్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాదే ఉండాలి, కానీ ఇక్కడ హైదరాబాద్ ఒకటి చేంజ్ చేయాలి. Is there any possibility? Now, without a unique value, now we cannot change it. If you observe, like both are duplicate. Okay, ST ID is the same, ST name is the same, ST marks is the same, ST address is the same. Okay, if I updated address, the both addresses are changes. Okay, now here I updated Hyderabad, here also it's updated. Okay, here I updated the marks, here also it's updated. Here updated the Rahul, here also updated. Okay, the updated ST ID, it is also updated. But I don't want to update like both the things. I want to update only single record. Simply it's not possible basically. Okay, now that's why we'll move to the constraints concept. Okay, now what's the mean by the constraints? Okay, now constraint in the sense like it's a rule or a restriction on table data. Okay, now it's a rule or a restriction on table data. ఓకే, అంటే ఏంటి? ఎప్పుడైతే మనం టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నామో ఆ క్రియేట్ చేసే టైంలోనే మనకు రూల్స్ అండ్ రూల్స్ అప్లికేట్ చేస్తాం, కండిషన్స్ అప్లై చేస్తాం. ఏంటి? ఈ స్టూడెంట్ ఐడి అనేది డూప్లికేట్ అవ్వకూడదు. ఫర్ సపోజ్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఈవెన్ ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు ఎంటర్ దట్ వన్ మోర్ సేమ్ ఐడి, సింప్లీ ఇట్స్ షోయింగ్ సమ్ ఎర్రర్. ఓకే, ఆల్రెడీ దట్ duplicates are not allowed. Okay, now ST name, every person has some name, but even though I'm trying to enter null value simply, it's not going to be taken. Okay, this type of conditions rules we can apply at the time of creating table. Okay, the concept is called the constraints. Okay, now we have different types of constraints. We have a not null constraint. Okay, now unique key constraint, check constraint, now foreign key constraint, the default constraint, and primary key constraint. Okay, primary key constraint. Now here we have this many types of constraints. We have not null, unique key, check constraint, and a primary key constraint, and foreign key constraint, and a default constraint. Okay, now the constraint in the sense like it's a rule or a restriction on a table dot. Okay, not null in the sense like it will not, if I apply not null constraint on the table column, now it will not allow null values into the table. Okay, just to give a minute. Yeah. Now, the not null in the sense like it will not allow the null values into the table. Now, unique constraints. Okay. Now, it will not allow duplicate values. Okay. A check constraint. Okay. Now, based on the conditions. Okay. Based on the conditions, simply we can apply check constraint. Primary key in the sense like it will not allow both duplicate. Okay. Duplicate plus null values. Okay. Now simply we can say it's a combi of not null plus a unique constraint. Okay, both not null and unique constraint. A foreign key in the sense like the parent and child relationships, we can go with that. Now default in the sense like the default values for all the columns we can apply. Okay. Now not null in the sense like observe carefully here, not null, unique constraint, check constraint, primary key and foreign key and default constraints we have. Okay, not null. It will not allow the null values, but it will allow the duplicates. Okay, it will allow duplicates. Okay, unique consent. It will not allow the duplicates, but it will allow the null values. Okay, now it will allow like null values. Okay, so that's the difference between like not null and unique consent. Okay, now we are going to create like multiple tables and we can apply some these concepts. Okay, now observe carefully here. Now create a table. Table name is emp. Okay. Now eid int and ename varchar like 20. Okay. Now again comma salary like into type I'm going to mention. Okay, this table creation. Now at the time of creating table only, I want to apply the constraints, right? Okay, I want to apply some constraint. Now I don't want to allow the null values in the IDs. Okay, employee ID. Okay, now after the column, okay, now we can mention not a null constraint. Okay, now by applying this not null constraint on this employee ID column, simply it will this employee ID it will not allow the null values. Okay, now it will allow the duplicates, but it will not allow the null values. Okay, observe carefully here. I'm going to execute in this table. I can insert some data. Now insert into emp values. Okay, now one name is like PT. Now the salary is like simply here 2000. Okay, I can select the data. Now it's a perfectly executed. Why? It's not null value. We have some values here. Now if you want to see the data, select stars from emp. Now we can see the data 1 Keith and 2000. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, the same thing here, I can mention control copy and the control V. Okay, I can remove this one. Okay, do we have any value, null value? Okay, now I didn't insert any like employee ID. But basically here, this 84 is not correct. See, even if I execute it, see, column count does not match value count at row 1. Okay, ఇది query wrong basically. If you want to mention the null values into that employee ID, we don't need to mention like this. Now, see, we need to mention like now on that employee ID, okay, which value you want to mention it. Now, ename, comma, esal. ఇప్పుడు null value apply అవుతున్నాడు. Okay. Now, employee table లో ename, esal కి మాత్రమే values apply చేస్తున్నాం. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if I select this one 84, now we are getting error. What is that? Field EID does not have a default value. Okay, does not have a default value. Okay, first suppose, okay, now we have like one more way. Now here I'm going to mention null.
అన్న
Yeah.
కార్తీక్ రాహుల్ ఎవరు లేరు మీటింగ్ లో. ఇప్పుడు కార్తీక్ వెళ్ళిపోయినట్టు ఇప్పుడే.
Yeah, okay. Meeting record అవుతుంది ఇంకా.
ఓకే.
మళ్ళీ ఎందుకు చెప్పడం?
Yeah. Now insert into MP values null I can insert. Now keep the 2000. Okay. Now if I selected this one, execute. Now say we're getting column EID cannot be null. Okay. Not null consent, we cannot apply the null values. Okay, that's the reason whenever I creating the table, simply we cannot apply not null constraint. Okay, if I apply the not null constraint, simply it's not possible to enter null. Even if I'm trying to enter null value simply, okay, now it's not possible. Okay, now next we have a unique constraint. Okay, unique in the sense what, it will not allow the duplicate values. Okay, ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఈ నాట్ నల్ కన్సెంట్ ఏంటి, it will not allow the null values, but it will allow the duplicate values. For suppose I'm going to insert that same record. Okay, now I'm going to insert the same record. It's perfectly executed here. Okay, if I execute select star from EMP, it's a perfect executed. Duplicates are allowed, but only in the not null values are not null values are not allowed. Okay, for suppose I'm going to apply that unique constant on that e name. If you observe, employee name is a duplicate. Okay, but I don't want to apply that employee name as a duplicate. Okay, but at the whatever the consent, if you want to apply, whenever you are creating table time only you can apply, but already table is created. Okay, then how I can apply? Okay, by using alter command we can apply it. Okay, now alter, in essence, we know that alter is a purpose of is going to be manipulating table columns. Okay, alter is purpose of manipulating table columns. Okay, now by using alter command we can add constraint. See here, alter table name, add constraint name. Which constraint name you want to apply? Unique constraint on which table, sorry, on which column? EMP name or EMP name or e name, and I think it's e name. Okay, e name. Okay, now sorry, constraint name and e name. Something is getting error. Statement is incomplete, expecting. Alter table name and add constraint name on like the e name only we can apply. Okay, now here like this we need to give. Okay, like it's correct. Okay, now alter table name, add consent name on e name. Okay, now I'm going to apply 89. Okay, if I execute that, we are getting say duplicate entry key for key mp e name. Okay, ఇక్కడ అప్లై అవ్వట్లేదు ఎందుకు, ఆల్రెడీ ఈ ఎంప్లాయీ టేబుల్లో కీర్తి అనేది డూప్లికేట్ ఉంది. సరే, if I selected this one, e name key is already there. Okay, e name key is already there. But suppose I can delete some record, I can apply that. Okay, it's a duplicate, both the deleted from EM business, like all the records are deleted. Okay, that's deleted. Again, I'm going to apply this alter command. Okay, now it's a perfect leopard. Again, I'm going to insert the record. Now it's a perfectly inserted. Now select all from EMP. Now sir, one key is 2000. For suppose now I'm going to insert into, okay, table name values. Now I can apply next 2 comma null values, null, and again salary is 9000. Okay, EMP values is what? Null is allowed. Even if I apply the unique constraint, duplicates are not allowed, but null values are allowed. See here. If I execute, perfectly executing. Okay, instead of that null values, okay, I am going to enter like something like Satya. I can enter. I can insert some value. Okay, again I'm trying to insert here. One more already. The multiple records are inserted. See here, like Kirti and 2 Satya 9,000. But suppose again Satya I want to insert it. Okay, like the record is a 4. Okay, record is a 4. Satya I want to insert like the salary is like 8,000. I can select like this one. Now refresh, execute it. Now see here. Duplicate entry Satya for key emp.ename is not applicable. Okay, the duplicates are not allowed for this one. Okay, that's about like a unique construct. Okay, not null in the sense like it will not allow the null values, but it will allow the duplicates. Unique